Hi guys, my name is Laura and this is episode 3 of the Just Yarnin Designs podcast, and it has been so long, like since the beginning of April, so almost 2 months since I have recorded. My apologies, and I'll talk more about why I haven't been able to get to recording later on in the episode, so if you don't want to listen to all the personal stuff, you don't have to. But in short, it has just been a whirlwind. Had a lot of stuff going on, and some things unexpected, some things expected, and it just prevented me from being able to record. But I'm here today. My phenomenal husband took the kids out of the house, and he said, I'll give you lots of time to record your podcast. So shout out to my amazing husband and to all amazing husbands out there who support their wives. Mine is a keeper. We've been married for 20 years this last June. So this summer, almost 21 years, I guess, this summer. But anyway, so you can find me on Etsy and Instagram and where else? YouTube at Just Yarnin Designs. And I'll put the tag down there on the screen. So I've got so much to share with you guys, so much to go over. A couple weeks after I had recorded the last podcast, I'm like, I have no acquisitions. I have nothing to share. Well, I tell you, like, let those 2 months pass, and I have so many acquisitions to share with you. I wish I had more finished objects to share, but I don't. I have a few, but I have a few of everything to share with you guys. Although today I'm not wearing any knitwear because it is 83 degrees here in sunny California. Light breeze. It is beautiful outside. When I was doing my podcast notes, I sat down at our new patio table, and it has been long in coming. And just enjoyed this nice sunny weather out there today. It was gorgeous. We've had so much wind here lately that even though the temperature is nice, but the wind just makes it unbearable. So I'm so glad that I got to sit outside today and just enjoy sunny California. I feel like it's the end of May, and we normally have 100-degree days here by now, but it's just slow in coming this year. So looking forward to those warmer days. Maybe not 100 degrees, but the warmer days. Okay, so my works in progress. I probably have more than I would normally have, but my, okay, so first things, coziest memory blanket, because that's an ongoing thing. So the last time we talked, I had about 86, 87 squares on my blanket, and now I have 103 squares on my blanket. I passed the 100 mark. So, and I think 325, I think, is my goal. But still, so here it is. I've acquired some striped yarns down there. I still have some ends to weave in. I usually will maybe take it to a baseball game or something where I don't really have to think and weave in a whole bunch of ends. But my 100th square is right here. And I did something that had some significance because it's fun. It's square 100. So this here, I have actually designed a pattern, and this was the yarn that I knit my first pattern out of. And I really do hope that one day I can get that up on Ravelry, but the way life is going, I don't know. I think what I've learned so far, and I've had it test knit, but I think I just need to keep it more simple. I want to make it very in-depth and talk about magic loop and how I do socks, and really I think I just need to keep it more simple. So, but this was an exciting one for me. I did dye this yarn myself. I did my first pattern on my own with this square. So I just encourage you guys to make a fun, do special squares that mean something to you guys in your blankets as well. So we now have so many so many ladies in my knit group that are doing a coziest memory blanket. This one is by Kimber Rye. And it's so fun to share our yarn pieces. I've told you guys that before. So if you guys have started your own coziest memory blanket, I would love to see it. So please tag me on Instagram, and I would love to see your progress, see what you're doing, see what colors you're using, if you're going with a pattern or if you're just going random like I am, or what you're doing. I've acquired, I didn't put this in my exhibitions, but I have acquired quite a few scraps. Almost every yarn store that I go to, I just ask them, hey, do you guys have any scraps that you're getting rid of? Do you guys have a community bin of yarn or whatever? And I've gotten a lot of scraps, a lot of additions to my blanket just by asking. And some yarn stores look at me like I'm crazy, like they've never heard that before, but then some are like, yeah, come look through our stuff. And so you just never know. I encourage you guys to ask out there. Okay, so coziest memory blanket. My next work in progress is Sparkle Cardigan by Hoey Locatelli. Oh, wrong bag. I tell you, I have so much to share, you guys. I have this huge bin of stuff just sitting right here next to me to share with you guys. So I'm going to try to go fast. So, okay, so I'll go over that in acquisitions because that's so super cute. Okay, so here is my Sparkle Cardigan. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen as well. But this is, look at this pattern on here. I'll even put it on for you guys really quick. So it will have a button band on there. And here's the back of it. I really like the length of it. I love, it's a custom colorway from Just Yarnin Design, so I don't think, I probably could replicate it, I don't know, but it's kind of nice just to have something that is just for me, just a color that is just for me, nobody else can get it. But this pattern I'm really enjoying. It was a little slow go at first because you're doing a little bit of lace work in there through the entire thing. I had to rip out a little bit when I was doing the neck shaping. It's a V, and I don't know if I misread or if it wasn't in there, but I had to do some decreases here. And when I forget what I was doing, but I don't know. I was like maybe breaking for the sleeves or maybe I was adding on for the sleeves or something, but I didn't see, or maybe it didn't say to keep doing the increases. I'm definitely out of practice with this. So it didn't say to keep doing the increases. And so then if I had continued on with the increases after I had not done them, then the V-neck would have gone like this, if you can see that. So it would have gone down nicely, and then it would have gone straight down, and then it would have continued on. And so I was a little frustrated because I really hate ripping things out, but I'm really glad that I did. And it really didn't take very long. It was just more the mental block for me. I went to knit group that night, and I was kind of frustrated. I don't know. I hate ripping things out. So shout out to any of you guys who also hate ripping things out. It just irritates me. But anyways, moving on. It's a fantastic cardigan. It's kind of on hold a little bit. The next part, I have to do the button band and then the sleeves. But I have a really fun and exciting project that I'm working on, and I'm very anxious to get it done. And that's this bag here. Okay, so this is a tank top. I've never done a tank top before, and I'll, again, put a photo up on the screen what it will look like. The detail in the back of this tank, I've been looking to do a tank for a month or so now, and I just could not find the pattern, and I'm thinking, like, toying in my head, can I create my own pattern? Oh, I probably wouldn't get around to it. Just happened to be looking on Ravelry one day, and there it was, the pattern that just shouted to me saying, this is it, this is it. It's a brand new pattern. So this is the yarn that I'm using. It's a navy, it's a cotton yarn, which is what I wanted because it's a summer tank. It gets over 100 degrees here where I live in California. And it came on a spool like this. We have a local company going out of, local yarn shop who is, their storefront is going out of business, but they'll still be doing it online, and that's Knitterly in Petaluma. And so I went one of their first weekends when they had announced that they were going to close. And picked up this yarn. It was very inexpensive. It's like almost 1,000 yards, but it's like in between like a lace and a fingering weight here. But I love it. It's a navy blue, and this is my progress. So I'm doing decreases. So I mark each one of my decreases here, just so that I don't have to keep track on paper, because I always lose it. I always think, ooh, did I mark that decrease? Did I not mark that decrease? So it's very easy for me to see right here. But yeah, this is it's worked bottom up. I am so thrilled. I cannot wait to get to the lace work. But I like, it has some shaping in it around the stomach area and around the bust area, which I haven't really done before, so I'm excited. I've worked with cotton yarn one other time, and I enjoyed it. It was a little bit softer. I think maybe it had another blend in there, but this is just plain cotton. I love the idea of just plain cotton. It's not super soft, but I would wear a tank underneath the tank top anyways, but it's not rough either. So really, really excited about this. It just has a rolled hem on there, so no garter. I feel like the lighting is not that great in here today, but anyway, so I'm using ChowGoo size 3 circular needles on that. And I was a little bit nervous because I wasn't quite sure if that yarn that I got was going to be the right weight, but when I swatched it, it came out perfect. So that is called the Emporio, and it's otherwise known as The Village is how it translates, and that is by Mona Nucleoid Designs. This, like I said, it just came out in May, so one of the first ones to pick it up. Super excited, and I think that's probably why it came out on my Ravelry like it did, so cannot wait. So everything else is kind of on hold right now because I really want to get that tank done to be able to wear it this summer. And then, the other thing that I have on my needles is, well, I do have the vanilla socks on there. I got some double points, and I don't have those with me. They're in my car, so because I just keep it in my car. And so it's just a pair of vanilla socks that I am knitting on the ChowGoo size 1 circular needles. I'm not loving the circulars. They kind of hurt my hands. I like some aspects of them, but they are hard on my hands. So I go back and forth between continental and flicking. But it's taught me how to flick, which is kind of cool too, I guess. But yeah, that's an easy one to take with me. I took them when my husband and I went to Seattle. I had them in my backpack, and as we were standing in line to get through security, I just took it out. I had the yarn just sitting with me, and it was really easy to work on. So, okay, so the next thing is the Starfall, and that, let's see, where did I put that info? It's just not even on here. Okay, I'll put a picture up of it. I'm Jennifer Steinglass, the Starfall, Jennifer Steinglass. It's a colorwork sweater. As you can see, there's a picture up on there. So this is as far as I've gotten. I've done one cuff and beginning sleeve. This is the first color work that I've ever done. And I did it, and then I had other projects that I really wanted to get started, so I have not picked this up in a few weeks, probably 4 weeks or so. But I love the colors. This is with the Yoth yarn, and I've showed it before here on the podcast. But, I'm really hoping that my floats and everything are even, and I'm trying to stretch it out. Been watching a lot of videos, so that is Jennifer Steinglass Starfall. So that is the last project, as if I need more projects on the needles currently. Okay, so next is finished objects. I have 3 finished objects for you. I finished my Ramble shawl. This one is by Andrea Mallory. I finished my brioche. So here, let's get this going here. So this is it. I have not blocked it yet, but, and my friend would tell me that I'm crazy that I have not blocked it yet, and I'm super sorry. Just haven't gotten around to it. I've been saying that I'm going to do it forever, but, okay, so I would recommend, if you're starting brioche for the first time, to start with an easier pattern. Start with something without the increases and the decreases, because I'm like, okay, so like I think the first row I watched 5 videos on how to do it, and I'm capable. I know I can do it, and I did it, and I even had to fix dropped stitches, and I was able to do that, but it was tough. And I think if I had to do it over again, I would have started with something a little easier. So just a little tip, if you want to start brioche, you can do brioche. It's not difficult. But what made it difficult was the increases and the decreases and learning about brioche all at the same time. But nonetheless, I love it. I love the colors. And that was another thing. I thought, oh, maybe it's going to look too baby girlish, but it really doesn't. It just looks feminine. I love it. So, way too warm to wear this today. But anyways, super fun. I'm so excited that I finished that. Oh, you know, I should tell you too, I loved the edging around it. Let's see. Here we go. So I love the edging. Oh, can we see that? Maybe, there we go. I liked this edging on the other side. I don't know, it was just classy. I just liked it. I don't know. Simple things amuse me, I guess. The next 2 are pear socks. So this one here I've had on the needle since December. Finally just buckled down and finished it, and it took me no time at all to finish. But these are the Central Park socks by Mina Phillips. Let's see. And I've shared the yarn with you before. So it is the, looking at my notes, it's part of the New York sock collection. So if I think I've told you guys this, but I had given away the socks that I had done in this pattern, and I really enjoyed the pattern. I love how it looks, and I wanted to do another pair. So I hardly ever repeat patterns, but this one I just had to repeat. I love the design work on it. Loved this yarn. This yarn is, it's Invictus Yarns base. Master of My Feet colorway is Disguises. Story behind this is that I picked this yarn up like 3, 4, 5 different times, I don't know, at a yarn show that I went to, and I picked it up on different bases multiple times. And so then finally I just thought, okay, it's time for me to stop shopping and just get it. So, and then I dyed the gray to go with it. It was just something that I had on my stash. So that is here's the other little guide to go with it. I do 2 at a time socks. So typically I do not have the single sock syndrome. Although we'll see how it goes with the 9-inch circulars. I don't know. Next pair is, I showed these in the last podcast, or yeah, I think. Maybe I didn't. I think I showed that this was up and coming in the last podcast. But this is part of the Mina Phillips Cozy Sock Collection. This is nestled socks. But it's a really fun pattern. You know, I learned how to do cables without a cable needle. It's kind of a cable-ish. You could also use a cable needle, and it took me a little while to figure it out. For some reason, I kept doing a yarn over when I was doing the twisted stitch that she has in her pattern there. And finally, it just clicked the way that I was holding my yarn. Something just finally happened, and it all worked out. And so this is, the yarn is Durin Dye Works Glitzy Sock. It's a Stellina base. First time that I've knit with Stellina, and I loved it. It was gorgeous. And then the heel, I honestly have this is Fire and Ice. This one here, Fire and Ice. I have no idea what this guy here is. It might be one of the Allegra colorways, but I don't know. I've had it in my stash for so long, and I just use it a lot for toes and heels and different projects. But I did these. I feel like I did these a little bit longer. I tend to kind of shortchange myself on the leg of the sock, more just because I'm impatient. But I can't shortchange myself on the foot of the sock because then it won't fit. So it's just an impatient issue. But these I took my time with and got these done. So love the colorway, love the pattern. Mina Phillips, you're amazing. I love your patterns. And embarrassed enough to say I have not even started the May socks. And it's at the end of May. But like I've just had other projects in life happening. So those are in the queue for sure. So put a picture up of those. That it's in the Wanderlust sock collection by Mina Phillips. And I have no idea what yarn I'm going to use yet. I haven't thought about it. It may be something in my stash here that I just got in my acquisitions. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But those are in the queue for sure. Those are the Vagary socks by Mina Phillips. And I don't think it's too late if you guys want to join the sock club through Mina Phillips, Knitting Expat. And she does it on Ravelry. She has a group and she gives away prizes and stuff, which is just fun and encouraging to get your socks done. She gives you 2 months to do the socks. So she has the Wanderlust sock collection and the Cozy sock collection. They run alternating months. One of them, I think it's the Wanderlust sock collection, is a little bit more beginner to intermediate patterns. And it's not that they're not interesting or beautiful. Like all of her patterns are beautiful. It's just more knits and purls and putting those stitches together to form beautiful patterns. There might be some yarn overs or different things or knit twos together, but it's all pretty basic knitting skills. And then her Cozy sock collection, which is on the even months, those she is intending to be a little bit more challenging. So maybe some stitches that you've never done, but she gives great tutorials. So like even a beginner, you could do either sock collection. But yeah, so I think you'll get 6 patterns in each collection. And then she also had her Mistletoe Kisses pattern in there as well. So 7 patterns with each one. But yeah, I encourage you guys, if you guys enjoy doing socks and you need some motivation to knit more socks this year, I encourage you guys to head over to the Knitting Expat on Ravelry and sign up for her sock collection. So she also has one that she did last year, and you can purchase the whole like ebook kind of thing too. And I really enjoyed a lot of her patterns from last year too, which is why I did it again this year. So encourage you guys to do that. Okay. So this next in the queue project is inspired by the La Bien-Aimée yarn. And so I'll put a picture of that. It's called Painting by Katrine Schneider. And what inspired me for this pattern is I recently got to go on a trip with my husband to Seattle. So he was going up there for work, and I came up earlier in the day, like the next day. I just flew in, and I had a good 5 hours or so just to hang out and kill time. And he was very encouraging. Go to your yarn stores, have fun, go explore. And so from Seattle, I drove out to Carnation, Washington, which is where Tolt Yarn is. If you've never been to Tolt and you're anywhere near Seattle, you have to go. It is a beautiful store, beautiful store. I posted some pictures up on my Instagram of that store, but they are one of the very few retailers, especially here in the US, they may be the only one, I'm not sure, that carries the La Bien-Aimée yarn. So I was worried that they would be sold out by the time that I got there. But they had just put out yarn at 10 o'clock that morning, and they had a line out the door, she was saying. I got there around noon, and they still had plenty of inventory left. I don't know what it looked like that morning, but plenty to choose from. So I'm texting my friends from my knit group and, you know, getting their orders, and then, but at the same time, putting anything potential into my basket because so many people were there looking at it that I didn't want to like something and then go back to get it after I've decided what I wanted and have it not be there. So I had multiple things in my basket. But the yarn that I got from La Bien-Aimée was, this is Driftwood Graffiti. And I did happen to get a sweater quantity to do the sweater that I just posted up there. So the sweater, the painting sweater. So this is actually the yarn that was on the sweater. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit differently because I do have the cardigan in this mustard yellow, but I just loved how it looked and I knew that I would be happy with it, and I knew I was spending a lot of money on the yarn, so I just wanted to go with something that I really loved. But I was there for hours. My husband texted me, he's like, hey, I'm, still got meetings and stuff going on, so take your time. Okay, no problem. So here's, let's see if we can get a close up. So it's like it's a gray, and then it has a lot of flecks of the mustard yellow in there. But I love their cute little tag as well. It's a merino single. So merino single. I have never knit with a singles yarn before. I'm very excited about it. It should be a nice lightweight fingering sweater. I'm hoping to make it maybe just a little bit oversized. It's kind of just throw it on over stuff, especially, during the summertime, it's hot. I mean, it gets like over 100 degrees, but then oftentimes in the morning or in the evening, you need a little sweater or a shirt or, a plaid or something to just put on briefly. So maybe this will be that, but I'm really excited about this sweater. I cannot wait to cast it on, but I'm trying to savor this yarn. So I don't know if it will be something that I cast on right away. It is in my queue. I just don't know when I'm going to cast it on because it's just such beautiful yarn and I want to work with it, but I'm savoring the yarn. It's so nice. Okay, so then also while I was in Seattle, I went to another cute little store called A Nifty Knitter, and I got two things there. The first thing is from Apple Fiber Studio. The colorway is Happy Hammock. It's a fingering weight, and this is something else that I've never done. It's a let's see, 60% merino, superfine alpaca, 20% superfine alpaca, 20% merino. Sorry, I'm gonna start over. Okay, it is 60% merino, 20% superfine alpaca, 20% nylon. It's a 4-ply yarn, 100 gram skein, but it was so soft. Like, it's super soft. I mean, you can just see the softness like radiating out of this. You guys see like the little tufts of softness coming out. It's so beautiful. Yeah, so just, whenever I look at yarns and go into a yarn store, because I can dye my own yarn, I don't get your typical everyday yarn. I try to find something that I wouldn't get myself or that I wouldn't dye myself. And I feel like I did a good job with all my acquisitions doing that. So who knows, this may be the next sock for Mina Phillips. That might be the Zagre sock. The other thing that I got there is this guy here. So this is from the Blue Brick Yarns, and they are out of Canada. This is their rose gold colorway. So this will be, and I'll post it up on the screen. I went on their website and, let's see. So I got on their website and wanted to see kind of how it was going to knit up. So this is an ombre effect, and I chose the two skeins so that the socks will knit up the same. So you won't have, all of the pink on one sock and then all of the brown on the other sock, which would happen if you just knit from 100 gram skein. So you have two identical 50, or they're not even 50 grams actually. It's 150 yards each. So two skeins, 150 yards. I weighed it just because I was curious, and it's about 85 yards. Honestly, it was probably a little pricier than what I would normally spend on yarn, but then I also know the time that it takes to do self-striping in the ombre type of yarn. So I know that more than anything, I'm paying for the time that it took, and I appreciate that time. So while it's more than I would normally spend on a pair of socks or some yarn for sock yarn, I was super intrigued with it and just bit the bullet and did it because I do appreciate the time and the effort that goes into this. So really excited to see how that knits up. And I don't know if I'll do a pattern or if I'll do just some vanilla socks. I don't know, but those are super fun too. So another store that I went to in Seattle, again, super supportive, great husband, was a Little Nitty, really cute store in the Seattle area. I can't remember. It may have been in Auburn, Seattle. I can't remember exactly. But this is Hula Hat Yarns. Look at that. She's so cute. And her tiki sock. So I was looking and looking for a colorway on this. I could not find one, but it's gorgeous. It's has some yellows and blues and greens and a little bit of like the natural, although it kind of looks like a lemony color. I don't know. It was fun, gorgeous. It just reminded me of summer. So it's a 2-ply 75-25 superwash merino nylon, 460 yards. So, and apparently the shop owner was telling me that Hula Hat Yarns is going on, she's changing all of her bases. So this one is a little bit cheaper, and since I just bought a whole bunch of other yarn, but I really wanted to try her out, I went with one of her old bases. So that was from my Seattle trip. Then at a local yarn shop in Napa, California called Yarns on First, I got this yarn here. Still trying to determine if it's navy blue or deep purple. I think it's navy with purple flecks, but I'm not sure. So this is Kenzie yarn by Haiku. It is, it's a New Zealand, let's see, it's 50% New Zealand merino, 25% nylon, 10% angora, 10% alpaca, and 5% silk noils. 160 yards, 50 grams. So it's like more of a sports weight, although it didn't say that. But I don't know, it's pretty. I think I'm going to do a hat with it, and I may add in, what is it called? I don't know. It'll come to me. I'll put it on the screen. But the super fine yarn to go with other yarn. Yeah, complete brain fade right now, what that's actually called. So I'll put it on the screen. Maybe I'll think about it later. My brain is gone. You'll understand why in a minute. Okay, so then on Mother's Day, we went to Berkeley for a graduation. A young gal that used to live with us was graduating with her linguistics degree from Berkeley, and we were privileged enough to go to the graduation. It was a really fun day and really great Mother's Day, getting to be with everybody. And my husband, of course, always makes it special for me. So we went to the Black Squirrel shop, Fiber Black Squirrel Berkeley, I think is what it's called. Extremely cute store. And as a crafter, the thing that I loved was that they had yarn, but they also had fiber, or man, I am off today. They had yarn, but they also had sewing and fabric supplies as well. So I was with my daughter, and she doesn't get to pick out yarn very often, so I let her pick something out. I think I'm just going to make her a hat. It's a fingering, so junk yarn in the Jen Urso colorway. It's a 4-ply sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 gram skein. And so I think what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to hold it double and make her a hat out of it. But it's a really fun colorway. I really like this a lot. I'm super glad that she picked this one. The other thing that I got there, though, was some fabric, because I'm a bag junkie. So here's their squirrel fabric from Black Squirrel Berkeley. And then I did, this is like just a navy to go with it. And one thing that I did is I put a pocket on the inside with just a little snap. And the reason that I did that is so that I could put my pins on without the backs getting, I was worried about the backs getting caught on my yarn. So I did get some new pins here. Let's see, this way. This is my, my tolt little lamb here. This is my little nitty guy right there. And then I got these guys here from the Clever Cove. This guy here and this guy here. Sorry, it's a little bit hard to see. And then the other ones that I got here are Dutch Bros pins, because I love Dutch Bros. Go Dutch Bros. But my daughter got those for me for Mother's Day. So just starting my pin collection. I love the pins. They're so darn cute. We do the pin trading in Disneyland as well. So just a lot of fun. Love the pins. Okay, so then also when I was at Black Squirrel Berkeley, I asked my famous question, do you guys have any scraps? And she goes, oh, well, we have some community bins. Okay. So my daughter and I scoured through these community bins. They had like 5 big bins of free yarn. I got so many scraps for my blanket, was able to share some with my knitting group, and I even got 3 full skeins of Madeline Tosh yarn. So these were either like onesies or somebody had donated them. I don't know, but how fun is that? Like, some of them don't even have colorway or names on them. They're just one-of-a-kinders. But look at that, free yarn. And I cannot wait to knit something up with this and then pass the rest of it on to my knit group for their blankets. Really fun. I can't believe it. Free yarn. So again, ask your yarn stores, the ones that you're going to, and just ask them if they have anything going on. So I'm going to pause this for a second because there's something that I want to show you that I forgot to bring with me, and it's just a tip and trick on how to get more knitting patterns out there. So pause it. I'm back. So you guys, the library has books. They have knitting books, cute knitting books, some completely old-fashioned, but some really cute. So I checked out a couple. I just checked out this one, and this one actually talks a lot about designing and figuring out how to knit things that that will look flattering on you, and adjusting things accordingly. So super cute patterns in here. But yeah, I just got it from my local library. So check it out for 3 weeks. You can always renew it if you need to, if you haven't finished your project yet. But it's free, you guys. It's free, and so many cute patterns in here. And they had a ton of books. They had shelves of books for knitting, for crocheting, all kinds of crafty things. So that doesn't even just go with knitting. It's any kind of crafty thing that you guys need information on. The library is a great resource. So I encourage you guys, and would love to see what you guys check out from your local library. So again, just tag me on Instagram at Just Yarnin Designs. So my bin is pretty much empty, so we're gonna put that down. My big bin of things to share with you guys. Okay, so why has it taken me 2 months to podcast? Well, we've just been having a busy life. I'm a homeschool mama, and it's the end of our school year, so we're officially done with school. Hallelujah. Thank goodness, because it's always this time of year I'm just ready to be done. But then my husband, like I said, had a business trip to Seattle, and so I got to go with him there and spend some time hanging out with my hubby. So that was really nice. But all of these things, from school to Seattle to all these, everything else, it just takes time, and which is great and no complaints. But I have very limited amount of time to podcast because we homeschool and my kids are around me all the time, or we're constantly taking them from place to place to place and different events and baseball. I mean, there have been weeks where my son has had 4 games in a week, and or in like an 8-day period from Monday to Monday, he had 4 games, and it just takes all my podcasting time. And so I'm really hoping to I don't know, maybe get up earlier. There has to be a solution for me to be able to podcast a little bit easier. But we had Mother's Day in there. We've been working on our backyard and getting our backyard landscaped. We live on 1/3 of an acre, and it's a lot of work. When we moved in, it had a basic skeleton of landscape, and it was all landscaped and older trees, but the trees needed to go. So we've been pulling out trees, and we had a new fence put in. We usually try to do like one thing every year, and this last year, and even this last 2 weeks, we have put in a retaining wall and moved rocks and dirt and getting it ready for my daughter's graduation party, which we had yesterday, and we had about 70 people here. And it was very special as a mom to see all these people come out and support my girl and love on my girl. And so she graduated high school. She graduated a year early. Super proud of her. Again, we homeschool, so we have a lot of flexibility, and we don't have to go through all the the checklist, I guess, from a regular public high school. She completed everything. She completed more than everything, and I just didn't think it was necessary to put her through another year when she had just worked so hard to get everything done. So she graduated with almost a 4.0 grade point average. She's almost done with 2 years of community college already. So she's rocking it. Super proud of her. You can see all the pictures behind me of her because it was her day yesterday. So we change out our picture wall when we have a special day like that. But that was, we had graduation, we had senior lunch, we had a party, and that took a lot of time and energy, but all worth it. So super fun. And like I said, it's really neat to see the people that are important in her life come out and support her. So we had that. I took one Sunday. So Sundays would be my normal filming days. And so one Sunday, almost my entire knit group came over, and I taught everybody how to dye yarn. It was so fun. For me, it was interesting also to see what people came up with. Maybe color combinations that I've been hesitant to try or that I wouldn't normally do, or a technique that I wouldn't do, and they were just gung-ho and like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, and just started mixing colors and sprinkling colors, and we came up, they came up with a lot of really great colors and ideas, and it was such a fun day. I think I've gotten a few of them hooked on dyeing now, so it was so fun. But so that took up a filming day for me. And then, 1 week we had some medical issues with my kiddos right before I went to Seattle, and thought my daughter may have broken something in her knee. Not quite sure, but turned out to be okay. And, but that was a emergency room visit, and just some other stuff going on with my son. And it's just all straining and tiring, but worth every moment of it as well. So, so like nothing phenomenal or big that has gone on in my life, but just a whole bunch of little things taking up podcasting time. So I was super thankful that my husband said, go podcast, I'll keep the kids out. Him and my son went to go watch Solo today for the first time. And huge Star Wars fans here, as you can tell, I'm sure. So, so that's it. That has been my last 2 months of craziness, and we'll see if maybe we can get this filming a little bit more regularly. So my apologies for taking so long. Always open for tips and suggestions, what you guys want to hear on the podcast or what you want to see. If you ask me any questions that you have, it's probably easiest on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, and let me see what you guys are working on. Tag me. I would love to see. And always up for new pattern ideas as well. So everybody go have a fantastic Memorial Day tomorrow, and just get some rest and happy knitting. Have some good knitting time tomorrow. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.